Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Hello.
How's everybody?
So
Well,
far, so
thank
good.
you. How are you?
Good, good. Are you guys a little excited?
Very excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a burden has been lifted.
You got that right. You got that right.
I know there's a lot of work to do, and hopefully, transition will be smooth. I see some hurdles to begin with, but hopefully that will,
Even if we have to dig our way out of hell, it's better than what we had.
yes.
Okay? That's just my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see him go.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
in the process.
yeah. It's I never thought that I would live to see anything like this, I mean, it was like putting fear into people, which, I don't understand what was in his mind. I mean,
You got to remember, there's about three things. Number one, he has no conscience. Number two, he doesn't care. Number three, he just wants that narcissistic gratuity. He wants people to love him and want him. And if you don't, he doesn't care.
go to Russia because he wants to be a dictator and he doesn't know how.
Well, he's going to be in court for a long time. He better hire all them lawyers that he's spending now. He better save that money because he's going to need it. He may not go to jail because I don't think they'll jail a president, but he's going to be in court.
And who's going to bail him out? I mean, not bail him out, but pardon him.
The theorem at this moment is that 5 days before the 20th, he'll quit. And then Pence will be the president and Pence will pardon him.
Oh,
but
good.
that's only for federal crimes.
Oh,
That's
good
only
God.
for federal crimes, not the state, not New York State, just the federal.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
So he's on the hook one way or another. And when all those women start lining up one by one, if they don't make it a class action
Civil
suit,
suit.
right?
Yeah.
If they come on, he's going to be in court for decades.
Okay, so we have, I know there's a few people that's going to be out tonight.
Okay.
They sent messages saying that they won't be able to be with us. But Eric, are you our presenter?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. So this is Eric. What's Parker from Department of Small Business Services.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me this evening.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Sure.
So I'm going to let everybody else introduce themselves. I'm Debbie Timothy, and I'm the chair of the Economic Development Committee.
Sure. I'll go. Hi, I'm Michelle DeRosier. I'm a new member, both to this committee and to the board. I just joined last year.
I'm Wayne King. I'm a new member to the board also, although I've lived in the neighborhood for a while.
Okay. So what time is it? Maybe we'll start in about, let's give them at least 7:15 and we can start.
There are other people joining, or?
I believe so. I haven't heard anything else. I've only heard about 2 people thus far. Reverend Sylvester and I forgot the other person's name, but those are the only 2 people that I received messages for. So hopefully maybe a few more people will join us and hear what Mr. Parker has to tell us about, small business and their services that they offer, which
We don't record. Are we recording?
I believe Khalid, Mia? Somebody's there, but nobody's answering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder about sharing the sessions out, because I know there are a couple of other committees that
Uh-huh.
I don't get to make their meetings, but I'd love to just keep abreast of everything that's happening.
Yes, yes. But do you get the listing of all the meetings? When they-
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure who's from the office is on the meeting as well. So
Hi, Debbie, it's Khalid. I'm just trying to help Mia right now with the housing committee meeting. They're having some
so
technical.
you're doing both?
Mia's watching over housing, and I'm monitoring economic. But we're having
Oh,
an issue with housing, so I'm just helping her out with that really quickly. But I'm
so
here.
you normally record, or do you?
Yes, it's always recording.
Okay.
Oh, I just saw it on the, yes, it is.
All right, good. So that answers the question. All right, so okay. It's 7:10. We're going to start again at 7:15. And I hope that Mr. Parker will enlighten us on where he think, services for small businesses will be heading in terms of all this craziness that's going on now, because I mean, for residents, it's difficult. So I know it has to be difficult as well for small businesses. I've spoken to some of the businesses in my community, and I mean, the rent is a problem. And it's like one landlord owns the entire block.
Yeah.
If you walk down, let's say Nostrand Beach, I'm not sure, where are you? Are you in Brooklyn, Mr. Parker?
No, I actually reside in Long Island.
Oh,
I
wow.
commuted, yeah, pre-COVID, I was commuting in every day from Long Island. So, but we spent a lot of time in communities throughout the 5 boroughs. So I'm very much aware of some of the challenges that businesses face in different communities.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
You would describe,
I've
I'm
had
sorry.
the opportunity of, doing the census. So I mean, I had a lot of time spent walking around the community, doing this. And I mean, I've seen a lot of things and, had conversations with people, and it's, I
It would
mean,
definitely be helpful if you could sort of enlighten me on some of the issues that some of the businesses are facing, and I can answer specific questions as to some of the services that the businesses require and some maybe hands-on assistance that they might need. I've been speaking to a lot of different communities throughout the 5 boroughs,
mhm,
community board meetings and open meetings. And of course, we know that financing is a big issue for a lot of small businesses, and
yes,
government navigation is an issue.
yes.
I think there's a number of different issues that face
Yeah,
businesses. And
there's a
so,
lot of rental issues. Yeah. Just like residents have issues paying their rent, the businesses, the small businesses, have that problem as well.
yeah.
Because, I don't know if you shop at BJ's or Costco's. Those are big businesses. And, the little mom and pops, it becomes an issue because they are struggling to make ends meet. Because when a family of maybe 2, 3 decides to go to Costco and bypass the local business in the community, and when you go to Costco, I was telling them maybe 2 meetings ago, and you ask them for donations. I mean, it's like you it's so difficult, and you have, it's like they bounce you around.
Mhm.
And you have to call the corporate office, and when you call there, they'll tell you, oh, you have to call the local office. So it's like, I mean, and by the time you finish getting anything, it's like maybe $25. So you think about it, when you go there and you shop, your shopping is like 500 plus, maybe depending on the size of your family and your needs. It you know, and it brings back memories because some of the older residents on my block, I would always hear them say, you know, oh, no, 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 I want to keep the business in the community. And now I can see why. You know, it's
It
unfortunate.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, things like that. And I mean, the storefronts, it's pretty much, most of them, the shutters are down.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, there's a plan in place, you know, to help these businesses. What we were trying to do is compile a listing of, I don't know what information you have that we can compile and, you know, pass it on to the local businesses in the community,
Sure, okay.
which I think is a start. I mean, since you can't really meet for a
Mhm,
town hall, and I mean, what would you say to them as at the town hall?
mhm.
You know, so hopefully we can come, you know, we're planning to compile information and try to get it out to them where they can reach out to people and organizations and agencies and, you know, be able to get someone that can speak with them and walk them through the process, not just say, okay, go here. And, you know, I think they more or less need someone to walk them through that process.
Okay, sure, understandable, sure.
So, right. So it's 7:15 now, and I'm going to give you the stage
Okay,
to
thank you so much. Thank you
provide
so
us with
much.
your presentation. And again, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you again. Thank you all for having me on this meeting this evening. My name is Eric Parker, and I'm an outreach liaison with the Department of Small Business Services. My team, we are responsible for promoting the programs and services offered at SBS. Just to give you a general overview, we help small communities, individuals, and neighborhoods throughout the 5 boroughs. We connect individuals with jobs through our Workforce One centers. We help businesses through our Business Solution Centers, and we help neighborhoods through our Business Improvement Districts program. So basically, SBS has a number of different services and programs to help small businesses, help them start, operate, and grow in the city of New York. Before COVID, we had satellite centers located throughout the 5 boroughs, known as NYC Business Solution Centers. The closest one to you would be on Bond Street in Brooklyn. Yeah, so since COVID, the onset of COVID, all of our services have gone remote. So we are still vigorously providing services online. That includes one-on-one assistance and consultations with an account manager for businesses that needed assistance as far as financing was concerned. During the onset of COVID, we were helping to promote the EIDL loan program as well as the PPP program. And the New York Forward program, which was sponsored by the state, which came down later. And then, of course, under normal circumstances, we have partnerships with micro lenders through our Business Solution Centers to help businesses meet their financial goals. When it comes to compliance with city rules and regulations, as we know, I mean, I've been in city government more than 25 years, and I've never seen rules change so drastically. It's become even difficult for me to understand some of the new rules and regulations. But just so you understand, the state is really in charge of the guidelines that are being passed down. So we've really had to look to the state to provide those guidelines for how businesses can operate under this COVID environment. In June, when they launched the Open Restaurants program, allowing restaurants to use curbside to conduct business, it was our first attempt to really kind of jumpstart New York's economy and getting restaurants, the revenue they needed and getting folks out there again. As of late, we just launched the Open Storefronts program, which took it one step further by allowing retail businesses to now use their sidewalks to conduct business and to show their merchandise and their wares. So we're really hoping that that's going to sort of give those retail businesses another boost and to sort of bring folks back out again. Now, of course, there are a lot of challenges, right? Those COVID clusters that took place that started to resurge in areas of Brooklyn and Queens probably scared a lot of folks back into hiding. So it's an ongoing challenge. We have recently started reaching out to businesses on the ground. Me and my team and our Commissioner Doris, has recently been visiting neighborhoods throughout the 5 boroughs. We're going to be in Brooklyn next week. We're going to be in Queens the end of this week, and we're actually conducting door-to-door outreach, signing folks up for the Open Storefronts program to helping businesses kind of reopen, get things restarted again. So we're really kind of doing whatever we can to sort of get energy back, get confidence back into folks coming out and sort of coming to businesses and frequenting businesses again. Of course, using safety guidelines, of course. We have an SBS hotline that we launched back in June, where folks can call and ask questions about a number of different things. We've gotten over 36,000 calls since the onset of the COVID virus. Lots of folks want to start businesses, surprisingly. A lot of new entrepreneurs are out there starting businesses. A lot of women and minority businesses are getting certified as an MWBE certified business. So there are folks who are out there starting again. I mean, the sad part is that a lot of businesses are not coming back. But there's a positive note that there are some who are restarting again, and those that are starting businesses for the first time. So for that reason, we're there to provide them with the kind of support that they need. That means financing, that means one-on-one counseling, that means anything that they need, any kind of hands-on assistance that they need. We also provide for those businesses that were sort of caught during this COVID crisis without an online presence. We provide a number of different course trainings online. I'll provide you with the links that you need in order to share with your community and folks if they want to learn about how to do business online, how to market your business online, create an online presence. All those trainings are there and available to small businesses, and they are free of charge at no cost. Okay, so we're just hoping folks take advantage of the services that we're offering for free. There's talks about other programs that are going to be launched on an as-needed basis. We're just out there trying to provide as much assistance as we possibly can. And I've been coming on these calls with a number of community boards, a number of community groups, just helping to promote some of the programs that SBS is sponsoring. We're partnering with other agencies. Now, the Open Storefronts program is sponsored by the Department of Transportation. DOT sort of is the lead agency on that. We're helping them to promote that program. So folks who are interested in signing up, it is a DOT sponsored program, but we're providing technical support in the area of helping folks navigate, helping them understand the criteria and the rules and regulations for participating in the program. Okay, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's what we've been doing as of late. So I'm happy to announce that we're going to be out in the field again talking to businesses. If specific businesses in your community are having issues, they can feel free to give us a call. They can call our hotline. I'll provide you with the hotline information, the phone number. I'll provide you with my email address as well as my number. My cell phone number has been available since the beginning. So I've taken calls from folks any time of the day or night. That's the least we can do to help businesses, is to be available to them, to provide the kind of guidance and assistance that they need. So we're just here to provide support. We have a small team, but we really manage a lot. But one of the positive outcomes to these online platforms is that I can be in a lot of places, right? I can attend a meeting in Brooklyn and still be home. I can attend a meeting in the Bronx and still be home. So that our capacity is increased because of this new online platform that everyone's getting used to. So with that, I open up to any questions that you may have specifically about what we can do to help the businesses in your district.
Okay, so you guys, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Well, my first question is, what kind of resources are there that's available, for lack of a better term, without a lot of strings? There are, I don't want to call them a dollar store, but there's an African gentleman, there's a hardware store, and their main issue, as Ms. Timothy said, is the rent. So are there any programs to assist my neighbors with that particular issue?
Okay, so we have a program that has just been refunded for 2021. It's still called the Commercial Lease Assistance Program. Launched in 2016, the Commercial Lease Assistance Program, or the CLA program, was put together to help small business tenants negotiate with their landlords. In most cases, they were tenants who were being evicted by landlords. Their landlords were taking legal action to have them evicted. Under the Commercial Lease Assistance Program, we actually provide representation at no cost to the tenant and help to try to negotiate some kind of fair deal with the landlord. The program has been so successful that it's been refunded again this year. Not just was it refunded, but it also goes one step further. Originally, the CLA program did not provide any, they would not litigate in court. in the past, where we just provide legal counseling. Now, the CLA program, under this program, they will litigate if there is a court or a hearing on behalf of the tenant. So I think that's a very strong program, and I think it's not the only measure that I think needs to be taken in order to help small businesses. I think the state's going to have to pass down some guidelines and some incentives for landlords to renegotiate. I think there's some talk about that now. So it's really got to be a multi-pronged approach. But our contribution to that effort is the CLA program, as it stands now.
Yes, you said there's a number and a website or a number. Can I have that number?
I'm going to drop in the chat. I'm going to drop
Okay.
in the chat our COVID-19 biz website where you can find all of SBS
Okay.
services. I'll drop that with my information. I'll drop the link to our Eventbrite page where they can look up free business courses that are available, and the CLA program is on that as well. So I'll just provide all that information that you can share with your constituents.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my question is, the open storefront program, is there a plan in place as it gets colder?
Well, okay, so the Open Storefronts program, the plan at this time is, it is a pilot program that started October 30th, last Friday, and it will extend into December 31st. Pilot meaning that they're going to see exactly how this can work and operate. We know that this COVID crisis is not going to be over anytime soon. We're just wondering how that's going to impact businesses as the winter months come and as it gets colder. One of the stipulations in this Open Storefronts program is that if the Department of Sanitation posts a snow alert, then businesses cannot participate on that particular day or during the duration of that snow alert. So they definitely have in mind a condition of snow being an issue. So there is a plan for it to extend beyond the winter months. We do know that business owners are now, the fire department, they're working on guidelines to allow outdoor heaters to be used so that businesses can stay outdoors longer throughout the winter months. We just have to, we're just in such new territory right now. And it's really gonna take a concerted effort, not just from the businesses and state government, but also from the community, right? The community is gonna have to start thinking different ways of shopping, maybe shopping outdoors. It's unconceivable now that folks would be outside dining and outside shopping, but that seems to be where things are going as the weather gets colder. So it's going to take a hard effort on everyone's part in order for this to work, in order to save the economy of New York, to save small businesses, and to help, to save the small businesses are the backbone of this city's economy. And so we're gonna have to provide as much support as we possibly can. Well, the bright side, of course, is now that we know that there is a new president going to be in office starting next year, I really firmly believe that additional assistance is coming. I really feel positive about that, and I think a lot of us do. So let's just hope that new programs and new forms of assistance will be there for small businesses as the winter months come. But as of now, the Open Storefronts program is up and operating. Open Restaurants is open and operating, and we're just going to see as it gets colder what that's going to look like and what kind of support we can provide. And hope that continue.
As I think about the whole political arena, as you say, I feel like we're gonna have some setbacks because of the races for Senate and trying to get a majority. So that's gonna, I think that they're gonna, the elected president and his vice president, they're gonna have some setback in terms of, all of this political craziness that's gonna happen between the Republicans and as well as the Democrats, because it's like, both parties are looking for different things. And, when you think about, communities that have needs, I see a lot of setbacks and I hope that the patience is there, because it's going to take a lot of work. These things are not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. Well, I also want to add, before the onset of the COVID crisis, a program started. I'm not sure whether you folks heard about it. It launched a few months back called BNYC, the Black Entrepreneurs Network.
Uh-huh.
It was an initiative put together through our agency with the assistance from the mayor's office. BNYC, it started out as a focus group, calling Black entrepreneurs out to different focus groups to talk about what Black communities needed. It was identified that Black communities have and Black entrepreneurs have specific challenges to succeeding in business. And based on the focus group, the number of focus groups that were held, they came up with a plan. And that plan was about to be executed until COVID started. And of course, funding now has put a strain on moving forward, but that program is very much alive, and talks are still being had about how to launch the BNYC program and to help provide assistance to Black entrepreneurs, specifically Black entrepreneurs throughout the 5 boroughs. That is the BNYC program. Like I said, since COVID started, it had to be put on hold because of funding, of course, but there was a very ambitious program that was starting out to help small entrepreneur, Black entrepreneurial businesses in New York start, operate, and thrive. So we're just waiting to see what the next steps are in that program, and see where it's going, where it's going to be funded, and what the goal is, and exactly how that's going to impact the Black community in a positive way. So as time goes, there's a lot of uncertainty, but it's also, we were moving in a positive direction before COVID started, as far as helping entrepreneurs, helping Black entrepreneurs in various communities throughout the 5 boroughs. There were neighborhoods that were identified to be those areas where Black entrepreneurs needed assistance and guidance. There's still talks about that. So we're just hoping that this thing really kind of takes off, and we'll see how, as time goes on, see what the process is, and see how it sort of re-energizes.
So who's spearheading that program?
Right now, it is under SBS, but it's going to probably transition to an outside group. We want it to last beyond this administration, of course. So I think the goal is to use a contract, an outside contract, a nonprofit organization to move the program forward beyond administrations. But I don't think that organization has been named as of yet. I'm sure there'll be a press release once that does happen, but we want to ensure that this really lives longer than any administration does.
So that organization is going to, so SBS is going to be, that organization is going to be under SBS.
They will probably be contracted by SBS. We will get the funding, and then of course we will put the bid out to contract, and an organization will probably get the contract for a number of years for X amount of dollars to move the program forward. Yeah, most likely. Those are the broad strokes. I don't know specifics about how that's going to work, but that's basically, in a nutshell, we're going to take it outside of government sphere so that it does last beyond an administration. But yes, that's the idea.
My concern is that the people that really needs that funding may never, I don't know what the criteria is. I don't know what,
Well, that's always a challenge. There's so many people in need. There's always a challenge. I mean, we can see from the COVID crisis, those people that got, we had our grant program. When our grant program launched in May and June, we had a grant and a loan program through SBS. It was exhausted in a matter of weeks.
yeah.
And when, I'm sure you must have heard about it. And when they did the research and metrics on where those monies went, they didn't go to the neighborhoods that really needed it. So we see this happen time and time again, and it's unfortunate. So I don't want to sound naive about my prospects about these folks being helped or everyone being helped, but the idea, I mean, they put this program together with that idea in mind, that we want to make sure that folks who normally don't have the capacity or the resources or the kind of sponsorship or the kind of the consultants that can help them, access of the loans and all the monies that other folks were able to get. We're going to make sure priority is given to those people who don't have access to that. In fact, that's what the New York Forward loan program is about. The state launched the New York Forward loan program, and one of the criteria was that folks who did not get PPP or the EIDL loan would get first priority. It was put together to identify those folks that did not get those loans, first round or second round of PPP loans. So with that in mind, I think we're getting smarter to some of some of the issues that small businesses face when it comes to accessing, resources out there. Making sure that those folks who really need to get it, and they're not blocked out because they don't have the right consultant, or they don't have the right contacts or the connections in order to access those things. So I think we have that in mind as we're launching these programs.
Right, because I mean, the big businesses, they have lobbyists, they have people that write their grants for them, and the small businesses, they, they depend on them themselves. So, it's a difficult situation. So hopefully, this time around, I mean, they can, get the necessary help that they need. You know.
Also, through our business solution centers, we're providing technical assistance in a way of accessing loan information, helping them to process loans. So we become much more aggressive about providing one-on-one assistance to folks who don't have the wherewithal to really navigate through online processes like applications for loans. Sometimes it becomes intimidating. We have a 5-page application to get a loan. Sometimes small businesses get a little intimidated by the process, or they're not as computer savvy as other people are. So
Right.
they may need that extra support. We understand that. We recognize that. Through our business solution centers, they're providing more hands-on technical support for folks who don't have that wherewithal, so that they're not cut out of the process.
Okay, and my next question is, do you have a liaisons for different communities, or, I mean, let's say Crown Heights, let's say, East Flatbush. I mean, it would be good to have that conversation with that individual, because they would get a sense as to what businesses, we are talking about, and, where in the community the focus needs to be.
Sure. Well, through our NYC Business Solution Centers, which are our satellite offices, I mentioned earlier, the one at 9 Bond Street, those folks are still working remotely, and they're working specifically for Brooklyn-based entrepreneurs. Even though everything is online, they do have their specific areas of assistance where they're helping businesses in the Brooklyn community. So I would say, if talking about liaisons for your particular neighborhood, it would be the NYC Business Solution Centers, as far as all of the services that we provide, financing, one-on-one consultations, and things like that.
Okay, so you wouldn't know, the name of that individual, or, I mean, we just have to reach out to that.
Well, I can provide that for you. That's not a problem. I don't have that in my head now, but I can certainly follow up with you. Give you a contact. Give you a contact name of somebody at that Brooklyn Business Solution Center. There'd probably be a number of account managers there. So specifically, they may specialize in specific services. So depending on what services a business may need, a different account manager may work on a different particular program. So I can certainly follow up with you with information on that particular.
Okay, I would appreciate it. And you
Sure.
mentioned coming into Brooklyn. Do you have an idea as to when you guys are going to be in Brooklyn?
It's not official yet. We're still trying to get the permits through DOT. What we do, this is a mobile RV outreach.
That's what
The mobile RV outreach, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So it takes about a week to get the permits from DOT. So we're really putting a rush on it. So it's not, it hasn't been released yet. So I really can't say where. The only place that I know of for sure we're going to be in Richmond Hill this week. On Thursday or Friday, we're going to be in Richmond Hill. Next week, we're going to be in Brooklyn. I believe we're going to be in, I believe we're going to be in Councilmember Cornegie's district. That's all I know. I don't know the street, but I believe that's Bed-Stuy. Okay, so I mean, we will take requests for other neighborhoods, and then again, our business solution centers do still provide that one-on-one assistance to all of Brooklyn. I mean, New York City is a big city, and we're a smaller staff, so we are working very diligently to provide services where needed. But if you have specific individuals that need assistance, we're here to help. I mean, we may not physically be there in your neighborhood in the next week or so, the next 2 weeks, but you can always reach us online. We can always get on video calls like this, phone calls. I will provide my contact information. So if anyone has a specific issue, they don't have to wait to get the kind of assistance that they need.
Okay, so I mean, that's helpful to know. So I mean, if you can keep us informed in terms of, as you guys, reach out to neighborhoods by the mobile, so we can get a sense as to let people know where, you guys are.
Yeah, so a question, so who is your local elected state senator in your district or council member?
Myri, we have Myri,
Oh, Myri.
Myri, we
Okay, we
have
presented at
Diana
Myri's office.
Richardson,
Okay,
we have Yvette Clark. What am I missing?
okay. Okay, very good. Okay,
And of course, we have Congressman Hakeem Jeffries.
mhm.
So those are the people that represent, different parts of our communities. And of course, we have council members too, as well. So we have, what's his name? Matthew
Councilmember
Eugene.
Eugene, yeah.
So that's one of our council representatives. Does anyone else have any additional question for Mr. Parker? No?
Oh, what floor on Bond Street is that? Do you know?
He said he's gonna send us all that information.
Okay,
Hopefully
all right, cool.
Steve Can pass the information on to us, or,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna send you an email. I do have the email, the invite email, so I do have your email address. I will send back an email with our PowerPoint presentation on some of our services, as well as
Okay.
some contact information. But just to answer your question quickly, sir, right now, Bond Street is closed. We are not providing any
Oh,
service.
okay.
Yeah, it's still all remote. We have,
Okay.
some folks have not been given the okay to go back to physical locations. Only my team is out on the field right now, but
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
business centers aren't open again yet.
Well, thank you
Okay.
for what you guys are doing. So I believe that my contact information is also on that email, that the board sent out,
Yeah,
because I made the request for them to do so. So you can always copy me, and I can make sure that, everyone on the committee gets, the information so that they can pass it along.
okay, will do. Very good.
Any additional questions or concerns that needs to be raised? No? Okay, Mr. Parker, I want to thank you for your time. And again, as you get information, if you can pass it on to us, we would appreciate that.
Will do.
We thank
Thank
you.
Thank you all. for
Thank you
having me.
very much.
with us.
Stay
Thank you.
safe, stay
Okay.
safe, and I will talk with you all soon.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
All right, thanks for your time.
Sean?
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hate to be a pain,
Okay.
but I live on Lefford. Well, it rhymes with my name. It rhymes with my name, Wayne the Pain. So
Wayne the
don't worry
Pain.
about it.
Okay.
Right. I live on Lefferts between Nostrand and Rogers. And I've known the storefronts on Nostrand for a long time. I understand what Mr. Parker is saying,
Mhm.
but these people are too busy running and hustling
Mhm.
to have the time to go to any kind of meeting or to discuss this.
Mhm.
My question is there any way that we can, I guess, I don't mean water it down, but
Mhm.
be able to just hand them something saying, well, this is that, that is that. I know we'll have to explain it to them, but something that will ease the steps that they have to take. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
You're talking in terms of something on paper.
Well, something on paper, and I guess I'm talking counsel, for lack of a better term. The reason I'm saying that is I go down there and I talk to them every
Right.
once in a while. The butcher shop, the African guy, the hardware store, I talk to them all the time.
Right.
Their problems are they would like to find out about this stuff,
Mhm.
but they don't have the actual physical time to physically go. Now, since Mr. Parker is giving us the information, I mean, we could just say, well, here it is, boom. But then they would have to fill it out. I'm saying, is there some way that we could eliminate one of those steps for them? In other words, I guess what I'm saying is that one of us would have to go find out what the pathway is. And I'm willing to do that. And then be able to say, well, yeah, you do A, B, and C. That way they don't have to go through A, B, and C. They can go straight to D. That's all. That's all I'm trying to
I
say.
think that the information that he's offering to pass us is information they offer online. That is online, and I mentioned that at the last meeting.
Okay.
Most of these business, small business services and any other state business, that's where the information
They're
is.
going to go.
That's the
Okay.
information.
All
So
right.
if we can get, I don't know how many people, businesses have access to, technology, but it requires technology in order
Yeah.
to get to
Okay.
that information.
Makes sense.
Unless we create a pamphlet ourselves, and the information will be changing consistently. So it wouldn't make sense for community board to
To actually do that. Yeah, that makes
actually
sense.
do that. So,
Okay. At least not now.
right, at
I
least.
got you.
So, yeah.
Okay.
One of the questions that I had that I just remembered now was about whether the services were available in different languages.
Oh,
I believe so.
Good
I've been
question.
on their website, yeah.
good question.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that it's in different languages.
Okay.
When you get an opportunity, you can always go on there. NYC that has a wealth of information.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about the specific service he's talking about coming out to the community on the mobile.
Mobile, yeah.
Yeah, trying to talk to everybody here. We have, our community alone, Creole speaking.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Just
That's
show
very
what
true.
the person that presented to us before this, Mr. Parker,
Mhm.
Small Business Services, we were about to have the mobile come out,
Mhm.
but then COVID hit, so everything just
Oh, okay.
fell apart. They were gonna
Yeah.
cover this area here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it might help because I know, and I'm talking for the Haitian businesses personally, because I know them. It's not always that there's somebody in the storefront with them who are English speakers. So if they
Okay.
kind of get a heads up, at least they could have, somebody can
Someone.
call their granddaughter or their daughter or somebody
Okay.
to be in
Okay,
there
so
with
that's why
them.
I asked him, to let us know when they're in different communities that we can let people know. And then
Yeah.
once I get that information, I'll try to find out what other languages they have it in. So maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be helpful.
And I also
Okay.
they have pamphlets that we can pass on. That would be
Right.
helpful.
Mhm.
That would be helpful.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do. Once I get the information, I'll send them an email asking, requesting, or for copies if they have that. So that way we can, pass the information on in the different communities.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So is there anything else? I hate to, I know that we have our agenda here, and it requires everybody to be on board in order to
Yeah.
talk about these things, because you don't want to repeat yourself again
Yeah.
and discuss the same things that, you already
Mm.
discussed. And
Mhm.
everybody may have different ideas in terms of how we go about things. So, I think that, hopefully at our December meeting,
Mhm.
we'll have a full staff, so a full committee, so we can talk about these things and see, which way we want to go with it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to hold anybody longer.
Okay.
whole
Great.
purpose of
No, we're good. We're good.
Mhm.
that was
Yep.
that everybody would be, part of this with the question and all these things. But hopefully,
Mhm.
he said he'll send us information and we can just pass it along.
Okay.
Okay.
So I am not going to prolong the meeting any further. I'm just going to hopefully talk about it at the next meeting. And hopefully,
That's fine. That's
All
fine.
right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll be available to talk about this and
Okay.
see which way we want to move and how we're going to. And the other thing we had talked about was doing something for the holidays. I know that time is so quickly approaching for Thanksgiving, and Christmas is going to be right here.
Something such as, let me close this door.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. My wife hear about something. If anybody going out this house, she's ready to start a fight.
Oh,
So,
Mhm.
so you can talk.
no,
What did you want? What did you have planned?
no, I didn't have anything planned. Normally, what
Oh.
happens is there's a Impact Brooklyn, and they do an annual shop local
Oh, okay.
event.
Okay.
But given the time constraints, given all the the whole COVID thing, it makes it
Yeah.
very difficult to do that. So I was hoping that Dale would be able to join us at one of our meetings. I'll reach out to her again because we did reach out to her for this meeting as well, but we didn't get a response. So I'll reach out to her personally,
Okay.
see if she can join us at our next meeting. And or if I find out anything about it, I'll pass the information on because
Okay.
usually they send the information, reach out to the board, and I haven't heard anything. So I will reach out to her tomorrow and hear what she has to say about the Shop Local event that they host. Because we usually partner with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'll find out and then I'll have the board send the information to the committee members, to let everyone know whether it's happening or not.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you guys so much.
Okay.
And we will be in contact.
Okay.
All right. No problem.
You have a good
See
evening.
you later.
Good
All
night.
right. Good evening,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Good evening.
Bye.
Good evening.
Yes.
Bye bye.